We now tell you that aviation stakeholders have called on Nigeria's government to tap into the sector as it possesses great potentials to improve the nation's economy. This was during a review session in the nation's capital, Abuja, where experts reviewed several aircraft being employed and their workability for the Nigerian and African markets. They also made recommendations to local airline operators on the feasibility of acquiring new aircraft for indigenous airline operators. Amadin Uyi reports.
It was a highly technical session with aviation experts and stakeholders. The meeting, a review of aircraft being used by indigenous airline operators, and recommendations necessary for the Nigerian markets and the growth of the nation's aviation industry.
The idea was to give Nigerian media an update on Airbus, on Airbus products, on show you also how important Africa is to Airbus, how important air transport is to Africa, and also to talk about the global market forecast. How do we see the future over the next 20 years in terms of air transport?
Also, the importance of financials was raised in the light of Nigerian airline operators struggling to acquire new aircraft for local operations. Experts highlight criteria that indigenous airline companies can adopt to resolve this challenge.
So if a new airline in Nigeria wants to start operations, what we can do, first thing that we understand is their operational structure. We look at their financials, and if we're confident the airline is able to sustain long-term growth, we will then work with them as a partner and approach financiers and say, we think this airline has potential, you should consider them. And we bring the financier to the table. Airbus does not finance aircraft themselves. We bring the financier to the table for them to finance aircraft. So if a new airline comes, we will work with them like we did with Ibom Air and introduce them to the outside world.
Experts also revealed that Nigeria's aviation sector has not lived up to its full potentials. They say government must tap into the sector as it possesses great potentials to improve the nation's economy.
Absolutely. We're a 200 million people country. We are underperforming in everything, including in aviation. So if we start getting everything right, including aviation, of course, the impact will be hugely felt. More people will fly. Very few Nigerians fly comparative to our population, very few. If we make it easier and more accessible, more people will fly. If the economy improves, so it's a symbiotic relationship, and like sort of chicken and egg. We need to work as a wheel. Nigeria help aviation help Nigeria. That's how we see it.
The session was organized by international aircraft manufacturer Airbus. Amadin Uyi, reporting for News Central.